Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here. If you're a scrapbook page maker who loves simple techniques with a big impact, you're in for a treat today. Before we dive into my mixed media project, I want to share some exciting news. Hip Kit Club is celebrating International Scrapbook Day in a big way. We're kicking things off with an Instagram hop where you can get inspired by our amazing designers and enter to win a $25 gift card at every stop along the way. And that's not all. You can also stock up on your favorites during the 48-hour mega sale. Plus, you can join our Facebook group where we'll be hosting 5 exciting challenges. One winner from each of those challenges will also receive a $25 gift card to the Hip Kit shop. So whether you're hopping through Instagram, shopping the sale, or playing along in the group, there are plenty of chances to get inspired and win during International Scrapbook Day weekend. Today, I'm going to share a project that I created for one of the fun challenges, the Color Me Happy Challenge. I'm going to be using the Hip Kit March Color Kit featuring Lindy's Magicals. These powders are incredibly vibrant and have some magical shimmer. Now, if you're new to mixed media, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through everything step by step and share some beginner tips along the way. I've selected 2 pattern papers from the March Hip Kit collection. I'm going to create a phrase for my title using the words in this pattern here. I've gone ahead and cut down my pattern paper into some strips. I'm going to be placing them onto this white cardstock here. This is going to prevent me from destroying my background piece when I'm adding my mixed media. Now this cardstock is the label piece to the March cardstock collection. This is a great bonus piece in your cardstock kits, and it's great to have on projects like this where you are working with mixed media. I'm following a diagonal design inspired by a sketch that was created by Allison Davis. I'm going to pop that up on the screen for you. I'm going to do my best to line up these words and balance them over here on the page because I'll be adding some paint over the top and I want them to flow nicely to create my title. In between the phrase pattern, I'm adding some cardstock. This is the back side of the Tranquil color, which is kind of a soft blue-gray. It goes really well with the black and white pattern. I am using liquid adhesive to glue them down because I plan on adding some stitching with my sewing machine. Using a tape runner or double-sided tape would gum up my needle. When you're working with a diagonal layout, your strips aren't going to span the full 12 by 12 page due to the angle. I had to decide where my photo was going to sit first so that I knew how long I needed these strips to be over here on the left side. All right, so I've gone ahead and finished placing all of the pieces over there on the left. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the right side off camera, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to create the mixed media portion of the layout. Before we add the color with Lindy's Magicals, I'm going to apply some clear gesso over the word strips and cardstock. This is going to help the pigment sit on top instead of soaking into the paper. It's also going to give a more true, vibrant color. Now, if you're not familiar with gesso, It's a primer that preps your surface for wet media. A clear gesso is perfect when you don't want to hide any of the paper details underneath. While the gesso dries, I'm going to give you a quick peek at my Magicals cheat sheet. I test all of my pigments on different bases like gesso, acrylic, and texture paste so that I know exactly how they're going to react. All right, so now our gesso is dry. We're going to mix up our Lindy's colors. When it comes to using Lindy's Magicals, a tiny amount goes a long way, so don't overdo it. I have added some pools of water into a paint palette, and I'm going to mix some Mango Mania, raspberry lemonade, and Bells of Ireland green into each of these. I'm going to start with the raspberry lemonade and brush it lightly on the word seriously. As you can see, this is not soaking into the paper. That pigment is just floating right there on the top. Now, the gesso not only protected my paper, it's also giving me time to move the pigment around, blend the colors, and even lift some of the colors with a damp brush. Remember, these powders are incredibly pigmented, so a little is going to go a long way. I always like to start with a little bit of color, and I can add more layers if needed. If you have added a medium to your paper to protect it, you can spritz some water over the top and allow those colors to pool together. That's what I'm doing here, and you can see that the pink is blending beautifully into the orange. Now, if you're one who likes to add spatters, you could add a few for interest. Just lightly tap your brush for fine speckles. All right, so I think I have a good mix of color here. I am going to need to let this dry for a few hours, and then I'll add some stitching, and then I'll bring it back and we'll finish putting the rest of the layout together. Now that everything is dry, I added some stitching along the strips with my sewing machine. I added more stitching in between the spaces so that that title really popped. Above and below these strips, I'm going to add some color. I cut apart the Embrace the Fun pattern, and I'm just going to lay these across the page. I'm going to place my photo and a journal tag over here, covering up that break in the pattern. Now you might have noticed that the tag is upside down. I wanted the arrow to be facing downward, so I'll just hide that upside down phrase with this little tab here. This is also going to bring in some of that green color from the title. I'm going to pop that sketch up on the screen one more time so that you can see how the flowers are laid out. Because I placed my title over there on the left, I am going to have to create more of a frame around my photo instead of spreading those flowers around the title. I think that's why I like working with sketches. You always have the opportunity to alter it to fit your specific project. You might have noticed that some of these die cuts have some large chunks cut out of them. When I'm layering flowers, I usually cut out pieces that are going to be hidden under photos or other layers. Not only will this allow me to use those parts and pieces throughout the layout, it also reduces some of the bulk on my page. So I went ahead and finished creating that frame around the photo with flowers, but I still feel like it's not popping off the page. I'm going to add the top part of this orange tag here above the photo. This creates a bold vertical element that's balancing out all the horizontal pieces on this page. In the sketch, there's a little tab above the photo. I love adding tabs and phrases on my page, and this little puffy sticker is the perfect element because it matches the journal card I added. And here is a look at the finished layout. I love how the Magicals added a vibrant pop of color and shimmer. This is such a fun and easy way to add mixed media to your scrapbook pages, especially if you're just starting out. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow crafters. Your support helps this channel grow, and we love sharing new ideas with you. International Scrapbook Day is happening all weekend. Join us for the Insta-Hop, check out the mega sale, and stop by the Hip Kit Facebook group to enter our 5 creative challenges for even more chances to win. Links to each of these can be found in the description below. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about the project or the supplies I used, feel free to post those in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.